Alright, what's up everyone? Let's go over this test review here. This is the second test for the TSI review. This is your review here. So number 1, multiplying exponents. So multiply the numbers, the big numbers, as in these numbers. -4 times 2 is -8. Then let's find the matching ends. This is an n. Where's the other? Here's the other n. That means we add them. When you multiply, you add. -3 plus a -3 gives us a -6. So we have n with a -6. Then we still have the m here, so m with a -2. Remember that we cannot have negative exponents, so let's fix this. The -8 will stay on top, but the bottom, all of this goes to the bottom because they're both negative. So kick them to the bottom. So now it's n to the 6, m to a +2. And that's it. That's the answer for number 1. Number 2, we're dividing here. So can we divide 3 and 4? No, you cannot divide 3 and 4. So our answer is going to have 3 on top and 4 on the bottom regardless, because we can't reduce them. Now the x's, I have 4x's here, 3x's here. When you divide, you subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1, so we have x to the 1. Now the y's, we have 4 on top, -1 on the bottom. 4, subtract the minus number. The bottom number happens to be -1. 4 minus a -1, that is +5. So it's y to the 5. So then the complete answer would be 3x y to the 5th. Divide that by 4. And that's a 5. Okay, any questions on this, let me know. Number 3. This is a power to a power. So there's a power 1 right here. So 3 has a power, u has a power, v has a power. Nope, someone's here. So all of these numbers need to be multiplied by the 4 on the outside. So this one multiplied to the 4. The u has a 4, multiplied to the 4. The v has a 4, multiplied to the 4. Right? So then it's 3 to the 1 times 4 is 4. U with a 4 times a 4. 4 times 4 is 16. And then V is the 4 times 4, that's 16. Now we need to fix this part here. 3 to the 4th power means 3 times 3. How many times? 4 times. Times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And 27 times 3 is 81. So 81, U16, V16. I think someone told me not to be putting U and V together in the same thing. Whatever. Anyways, number 4. Multiply first on top and then divide. There's a negative here and a negative here. So I'm going to fix that real quick. I'm going to do a negative times negative, and a negative times a negative is positive. Right? So this negative can go right here. So like if I could erase it, I would put it on top. -3 times -3, that gives me +9. Now the r's, I have 4 here and I have 1 right there. When you multiply, you add. So 4 plus 1, that's 5. So 9r to the 5. Divide that by r in the bottom. And there's 1 r in the bottom. Now I have 5 r's on top and 1 on the bottom. When you divide, you subtract. So 5 minus 1, that's 4. So I have 9R4. And nothing on the bottom because I brought that 1 to the top. Go number 5. A multi-step inequality here. This 2 has a 1. The x has a 2, the y has a 3. So this 1 times the 4, the x2 times the 4, and the y3 times the 4. So 1 times 4 is 4, so it's 2 to the 4. Then it'll be x, 2 times 4 is 8. And then y, 3 times 4 is 12. I'll fix this in a little bit. First, let me fix this because I cannot have 2 to the 4th just staying here. 2 to the 4th means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. So this is 16x 8, y 12 times, now I'll bring down the rest, 2x to a negative 2, y to a negative 1. 16 times 2, well, that gives us 32. So I have 32. Now I have x here and x here. When you multiply, you add. So it's 8 plus a negative 2. 8 plus negative 2, that's 6. So we have x to the 6. I have 12 y's here and negative 1 there. So when you multiply, you add. So it's 12 plus a negative 1, which is 11. So y to the 11. And there we go. Number 6 here, same thing, another multi-step thing here. This negative 2 times the 4. The 4 from there gets multiplied there. So negative 2 times 4 gives us a negative 8. The y, 4 times 4 is 16. Then I'm going to bring down the rest, times x 2, y negative 1, ooh, times another one, so I'm talking about. So let's see here. I'm going to do them all in one step. I have x here. I have x here. Do I have an x over here? No. So when I multiply, I add. Negative 2 plus 8. Negative 8 plus 2. Negative 8 plus 2. That'll give me negative 6. So I have x to a negative 6. Now the y's. 16 here. Negative 1 here, and 3 there. When you multiply, you add. Can you add 3 of them? Sure you can. 16 plus a negative 1 plus 3. 16 minus 1 is 15. 15 plus 3 is 18. So y 18. The only problem is this negative here, which we can't have, right? So I'll just kick it to the bottom. So the y 18 stays on top. On the bottom, we will have x to the 6. Remember here, divide by our numbers. 75 does not go into 4. 75 does not go into 9. 75 doesn't go into 16. But 75 does divide by 25, which will give us 3. Which means that we can rewrite it. 75 is equal to 25 times 3. Take the square root of everything. The square root of 25, we can do that. The square root of 25 is 5. Bring down the square root of 3, and we're done. Now, shortcut method. If you have this as the answer choice, if you square this number, and then you put, well, 5 squared. If you square the number and then multiply it to the inside number, then you should get 75. What do you mean? What's 5 squared? 5 squared is 25. And then times the inside number. 25 times 3 is 75. Right? That's just the cheater shortcut method. Anyways, 32. Can you divide 32 by 4? Yes. it'll give us 8. And I know it's a single digit. That's great. But if you keep on going a little bit further, you're going to get that you can also 32 does not go into 9, but 32 does go into 16, which is 2, and that's smaller than the 8, which is what I want. So 32 is equal to 16 times 2. Take the square root of everything, right? And then the square root of 16 is 4. Bring down the square root of 2. And that's my answer. So using the cheat or shortcut method, square that number times that number. Right? So 4 squared is 16, and 16 times 2 is 32. Whatever. Number 9. You want to get the square root by itself, right? So then plus 7. Remember, is there anything in front of the square root? Yeah. Is there anything after it? No. So fix it. Always fix it. Make sure it's by itself. So we have the square root of n is equal to 3 plus 7. That doesn't happen. Those cancel. That's plus 7. That's 10. How to get rid of the little 2? The little square root? You put a little 2. This 2 cancels all of that and only leaves n. And 10 squared is 100. Over here. Is there anything before the square root? Is there a number here? No. Is there a number after here? No. Is there a number before the square root? No. Is there a number afterwards? No. So these are ready to be solved. This leaves just x is equal to 15 minus 2x. Get all the x's on one side. Oh, I was already jumping ahead. That's a 0. Divide by 3. And x is 5. Number 11. Subtract this 6. Get the letter by itself. 5r squared is equal to 80. Divide by 5. And 80 divided by 5 will give us what? 80 and 5. That will give me 1, 5. That's 3, 0, 6, 16. So 16. So then r squared is equal to 16. But I want to get r by itself. That means we have to take the square root of both sides. Because the square root cancels all this. So we have r is equal to what's the square root of 16? 4 and negative 4, right? We're 12. Subtract the 8. So 559. That'll give us 567. Negative 567. Divide by negative 7 here. 7 is 8. 81? Pretty sure. Cancels. So then v squared is equal to 81. Take the square root of both sides to get the v by itself, and we have v is equal to 9 and negative 9. Alright. Does this match your test? Pretty sure it does. Let me see. Yeah, see, multiplying, dividing, power to power multiplying. Oh yeah. Easy smeezy here. Anyways, because what is one factor? Well, let's see. -5 and 9. Can you divide anything out between -5 and 9? No, you cannot. Right? So then let's go to the letter. I have 2 A's and 1 A. Which one's smaller? The A1. So take out A1. Now A1, now the -5 needs to go here. This is a -5, right? Now we have 2 A's. We have 2 A's right here, and we're going to subtract out 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, so we have A with a 1, then a plus sign. Then we still have the 9, don't forget about the 9. Then we had 1A here, but when you take out the 1A, it's 1 minus 1, and that's 0. So there are no more A's here. Now again, this is right. They just typically don't put the negative sign. So this negative sign is usually not there. So just an easy way to fix it is to change the signs to everything. So now it's a -A on the outside. Now it's a +A with a -9. Right? 14. 28 and 20. Is there anything I can take out? What's the greatest common divisor? It's 4. I can take out 4. Now the letters. I have 4 and I have 3. The smallest one would be 3, so 4. And then take out 3 of the x's. Now 28 divided by 4, that gives you 7. We had 4 x's here, but we're subtracting the 3, so we only have 1 more left. So x to the 1, you can put a 1 there if you want, but we don't have to. Then there's a minus sign. And then 20, if we divide that by 4, 20 divided by 4 will give us 5. And then we had 3 x's, but we took away 3 x's, so we're done. Remember, when it says to only one factor, the answer might be this, or it might be this. Well, I mean, not those, right? Because those are the wrong. These ones. We don't want negatives there. So 15, 6, and 21. What number can I divide out? I can divide out a 3. I have 2 x's and I have 1 x. The smallest one is x to the 1. So the -6 divided by 3. -6 divided by 3 is a -2. I have 2 x's. I'm going to take away the 1. That means I'm going to have 1 left. So x to the 1, or just write that. Minus sign. 21 divided by 3 is 7. I have 1x, so 1 minus 1 is 0, so we're done, right? But don't forget that we don't like the negative right there. So change the sign to everything. So now it's a -3x, a +2x, and a +7 now. Again, any one of these can be the answer, depending what the multiple choice has, right? Unless it has them both. I forgot how the multiple choice looks on your test. I don't know, let me see. 15. 15. Oh, yeah, see, it's only one of them. Yeah. Anyways. Number 16. -2 and +3. Can I divide anything out? No. So then go to the letters. 2 x's and 1 x. Which one's smaller? The 1. So then I can take out 1x. If I take away the 1x from here, I still have the, don't forget the -2. And then I have 2 x's, take away 1, I still have 1x. The plus sign, the number 3. And then I had 1x, but I'm taking away 1, so 1 minus 1 is 0. Now remember, if this is a negative number, if that's negative, you flip the signs to everything. So now it's -x, +2x, and a -3. So number 17. Find the factor to this. This is the one where we have these two numbers. So my little chart, multiply and add. The multiply is 20. The add is negative 12. 1 and 20, no. 2 and 10. Something with 2 and 10 maybe? 2 and 10. Negative 2 plus negative 10. And if they're both yeah. So negative 2 times negative 10 is positive 20. Negative 2 plus negative 10 is negative 12. So yeah. So then P minus 2 and P minus 10. Remember that when it only has two of them, it's like saying v squared plus 0x minus 49. So you make your little table, the multiply and the add. This is the multiply, this is the add. The multiply is negative 49, the add is 0. Negative 7 times 7 and negative 7 plus 7. Yep. Make my little table. The multiply is the 20, my add is the 9. Remember that if you cannot do this, you do 1 times 20. 1 plus 20. Does that give me 9? No. 2 times 10 is 20, but 2 plus 10. Does 2 plus 10 give me 9? No. 3 doesn't go into it. Oh, 4 does. 4 times 5 is 20. Is 4 plus 5 9? Yes. So then we're good. These double check mark. Then we have a B with a positive 4 and B with a positive 5. $40 and negative 14. Multiply and add. Multiply the 40, negative 14. Remember again, if you can't, you start from scratch. 1 times 40. No, that doesn't work. Because if you add 1 and 40, you get 41. You subtract them, you still don't get 14, anywhere near 14. 2 times 20. So 1 times 40. If that doesn't work, sometimes you have to subtract them. See if you still get 14, but they don't work. 2 times 20. 2 plus 20, 2 minus 20. And 9. If you already know the answer, I know. I'm just showing you just in case. Last final step. If you don't know how to do this, is the last time I help review. 4 times 10. So 4 plus 10 is 14, but I need negative 14. So that's when you play with the signs. So negative 4 times a negative 10 is also positive 40. And negative 4 plus a negative 10, that's negative 14. So they both have to be negative. So R minus 4 and R minus 10. Remember, there's only two of them. You can rewrite it as m squared plus 0m minus 36. So these two right there. Multiply. Our multiply and add. Our multiply is our negative 36. Our add is 0. 1 times 36. 1 plus 36. 1 minus 36. That doesn't give us 0. 2 times 18. 2 plus 18. That's not 0. 2 minus 18. That's not 0. 3 into 36. Yeah, 12, right? Yeah, 3 times 12. 3 plus 12 doesn't work. 3 minus 12 doesn't work. 4 times 9. 4 plus 9. 4 minus 9. That doesn't work. And then you keep on going. And eventually you're going to figure out that it's 6 times 6, right? Then when you do your table, when you do 6 plus 6 is 12, but 6 minus 6 is 0. And there you go. So we need 1 positive 6 and 1 negative 6. Because a positive 6 minus 6 is 0. So m plus 6 and m minus 6. Right, but again, that's the last time I want to review. I'm just going to go straight into the answers because we should know this already by now. Multiply and add 8 and 6. 1 times 8, no, 2 times, 2 times 4, and 2 plus 4 is 6. So P plus 2 and P plus 4. Negative 8, negative 7. Multiply and add. Negative 8, negative 7. Negative 8 times 1. Negative 8 plus 1. Negative 8 times 1 is negative 8. And negative 8 plus 1 is negative 7, yes. Oh, dang. Negative 80 and negative 2. That's no fun. Multiply and add. That's negative 80 and that's negative 2. 180, 243, 4. Oh, 10. 10 and 8. 10 and 8. Negative 10 plus 8. So negative 10 times 8. Negative 10 times 8 is negative 80, and negative 10 plus 8 is negative 2, yes. So x minus 10 x plus 8. Well, the next part here is remember that we're going to have the common denominators. 3K. This one right here says 3K2, 6K2, and 2K2. Well, they already have K2s, which is good. They already have K2s. Excellent. It's the numbers that are different. 3, 6, and 2. Well, we have to make them all be what? The biggest number, which is 6. So this one's okay. How do you make 3 become 6? Times 2. If we do times 2 to the bottom, you do times 2 to the top, to everything. You already, and this last one you have a time, you have 2K2, so to make it be a 6 is times 3. And times 3 to the top. 2 times K, that will give us 2K, plus 2 times 2 is 4, equals K plus 6, plus 1 times 3 is 3. Let's fix this up real quick. This becomes 2K plus 4 is equal to K plus 6 plus 3 is 9. Get the letters on one side, so I'm going to subtract K. No more K's here. I'm going to subtract the 4, so there's no more 4's here. So 2K minus 1K is just K. And then 9 minus 4 will give us 5. K is 5. I have a 2x to the negative 2, 2x to the negative 2. So I need to make them all be x negative 2 first. How do you make that become an x negative? How do you make that become x to the 2? Well, times x. But that just gives me x squared. How do I make it become a 2x squared? Well, times 2x. Now, remember, the minus sign, very, very important. Be careful with the minus sign. The minus sign changes both of the signs because it's a negative 1 onto x minus 5, which means it's negative x and a positive 5. Okay? Don't forget that. Very important. You can easily forget it. So this is 2x squared, that's 2x squared, and that's 2x squared. So then the top here is a 1. So 1 minus x plus 5 now is equal to 1 times 2x, that's 2x. Let me fix this because I have 1 plus 5. That will give us negative x with a positive 6 now is equal to 2x. Now I get all the x's on one side, so I'm going to add x. 6 is equal to 3x divided by 3, and we get x is equal to 2. Number 27. Six R2, 6R, and R2. I need to make them all be R2 and have a 6. So they all need to be 6R2. This one's already R2, so this one's going to be just times 6. Times 6, times 6. This one's just 6R, so I need 6R2, so 6R times R now. So now there are 6R2. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 times R is R, is equal to 1. I only have one letter, which is great, so subtract the 12, and I'll have everything ready to go. 1 minus 12 is negative 11. 28. Well, this doesn't have a double whammy here. So 2x2, x2, and just x2. So they all need to be 2x2. So this is going to be times 2. So times 2 here and times 2 there. And this would be times 2 to make it to be 2x squared, so times 2. But don't forget the minus sign. Okay, so it needs to flip the numbers. I'll do that in a little bit. So these are all gone. This is going to be a 1. Let's do it here. It should be, let me times the 2 already. 2 times the 5x is 10x. And then 2 times the 5 is a negative 5 is now a negative 10, right? But don't forget there is a negative 1 there. So now it's negative 10x and a positive 10. Okay, that's what happens right here. I'm doing that work right there. So it's minus 10x plus 10 is equal to 3. The 2 times the 3 here gives me 6. I'm going to fix this to give me 11. So negative 10x plus 11 is equal to 6. Subtract 11. And then it's going to give me negative 10x is equal to 6 minus 11 is what, negative 5? Yes. Divide by a negative 10. And negative over, and this, you can reduce this. The negative over negative is positive, and 5 over 10, that's 1/2 now. I mean, I don't know why I wrote it like that, same thing. Follow a method of 2 problems, right? So negative 2 times negative 7, that's positive 14x squared. And then we'll have positive 2xy, negative 56xy, and then negative 8y squared. Fix the middle. So 14x squared. 2 minus 56, that's what, negative 54? Again, if you're lost what I'm doing 8a times negative 8a. I'm just going to write down the steps here one last time real quick. 8a times negative 8a. And then I do 8a times negative 8b. And then I do that one times that one, which is 4b times negative 8a. And then 4b times the last one, 4b times negative 8b. So this is, multiply that, you get negative 64a squared. Multiply this, we're going to get negative 64ab. Multiply this, you're going to get negative 32. I'm putting in order from alphabet. AB. Multiply that, you're going to get negative 32b squared. Fix the middle. Negative 64a squared, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Negative 96ab minus 32b squared. Just solve the equation here. Parentheses first, right? Multiply that in. That's a positive 48, and 8 times that gives me a positive 32 is equal to 32 plus 3n. I'm going to get all the letters on the same side, so subtract 3n. There's no more n's anymore. Subtract 32, so this is all gone. 45n is equal to 0 divided by 45, and you're still going to get 0. 0. Parentheses first. There's like a negative 1 right here. So 3 plus 6x, just bringing it down, is equal to negative 3 plus 8x. Get all the x's together. So I'm going to subtract 8x. All that x is gone. I'm going to subtract the 3 over here. So then 6 minus 8 is negative 2x is equal to negative 6 divided by negative 2. And that's positive 3. Alright, almost done. Parentheses first. Negative 8 times b is negative 8b. Negative 8 times 4 is negative 32 plus b, this symbol, negative 3b. Combine our b's together because I have a b right here and a b right here. Negative 8 plus 1, negative 7b minus 32. Remember that when you divide by a negative, the sign flips, but we'll do that in a little bit. So I'm going to get all the b's together on one side. Since I only have one b on the right side, I'm going to move my 7 over here to this side, which is going to suck because I have to fix it at the end, but whatever. Plus 7b, negative 32, this symbol, 4b, divided by my 4. And if you divide negative 3 by 4, you're going to get, what, negative 8? So we have negative 8, this symbol, and b. Now again, usually the b is on this side, on the left, right? So it's pointing to the negative 8. So then make sure it keeps pointing to the negative 8. Last one here. There's no parentheses on the left side, so I'm going to bring this stuff down here. Three times 1 is 3, and 3 times negative 8a, that's negative 24a. Get all the a's together, so I'm going to put plus 24a. So there's no more a's on the right side, so I want to move the numbers to the left. Subtract 35. So that's going to give me, what, 16a. This symbol, 3 minus 35 is negative 32. Divided by 16. Remember that if you divide by a negative number, the sign, remember, if you divide by a negative number, the sign flips. Okay, so just be careful with the sign. Sometimes you have to flip it. Depends if you divide by a negative. In my 2 examples, I did not divide by a negative, so on your test, I don't remember if you have to, so be careful. So those cancel. The a is already on the left side. So a, this symbol, negative 32 divided by 16 is negative 2. Now what I try to do is make your test match this. You see how equation, equation, equality, inequality. See, equation, equation, inequality, inequality. Then it was the forward method of 2 letters, and then it was the make sure all the bottoms are the same. Oh, right here is a minus. Be careful with these minuses here. Factoring, 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 factoring. Same thing. So if you can do the review, then the test is simple because every single question, it matches the exact same way, right? No big deal. If you're still listening, which you should be, which is good, smart, to your test, number 4 is C as in cat, number 8 is B as in boy, number 12 is C as in cat, number 16 is A as in apple. All right, laters. 0.